doing, buddy? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well tonight. We are running so late today. I'm not prepared for this at all right now. We're just gonna we'll mess around until everyone gets here. I don't know what I got to play. We'll play something. We'll play something to warm things up. How about this one? Like I said, I am really not prepared. We ran a little late today, and that was nobody's fault, but man. All right, well, Ludovic said he's from Spain, and it's 3 a.m., so yeah, European time. That's early, buddy. He says he has two full-time jobs. That means I have to be awake from, 1 o'clock to 7. So thank you for making my nights easier, and I don't feel it. There you go, buddy. We are here for you, bro. It's good to see you, man. Muchas gracias, amigo. LB says, the nylon guitar back there? Yeah, you know it, man. We'll play a little bit later on for sure. Hey, Juji. She says that new Throne of Obsidian graphic is fire. Thank you very much. That was a cool one to make. Yeah, I had to think hard about that one, but yeah, that one was the final product. of all the tries we did. But yeah, thank you. That's a cool idea. We liked it. Val Kimber, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there. Val says, Ric Flair, woo, there you go, buddy. And he's got a question. He says, is Bigfoot real? I don't know, buddy, I don't know. I've always wanted him to be real, but you know, I see, but I'm not one of those people that's going to like go out looking for him either. I've seen some of those people. It's like, they do some weird stuff. They got their Sasquatch calls and everything, man, so I don't even know. Doroteo Garcia, hello, what you doing tonight? Good to see you. Metal Maniacs in the house, that's what I'm talking about. Elamon Finland reporting in, 4:07 in the morning there. Haskiolo, my friend, good to see you. Val said he watched a stabilized video of the Bigfoot from the 60s. You can see its calves and quads flex like walking. I don't think a gorilla would be like, yeah, true that. I never know. But yeah, there's some people, we watch a guy, Andrew Callahan, he's a Channel 5 News on YouTube, and he went to like a Bigfoot, like, I don't even know, like a meeting or something like that, like a Bigfoot festival, and all these people say they've seen Bigfoot, and they go out and search for Bigfoot and all this stuff. So you never know. But yeah, just like Juji said, anything is possible in this world. You just never know. I know I haven't seen him. I like, is the Loch Ness Monster for real? That's another one I'm always looking at. Derail, happy Saturday too, buddy. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Let's see what we got. Like I have an idea for tonight, and then I don't have much planned beyond that. So gotta figure out some tunes. I know Juji has been liking this new 10-10 song. I've been liking it too now that I've been playing it again. So we'll play that for a nice little slow warm up. It's a nice one. I could probably get some good videos out of that this week if I can find it. New 10-10. Where are you, new 10-10? Oh, you know what? My setup is different in this setup here. So my songs are all over the place here. Where is new 10-10? Oh my gosh. Oh, here it is. It's way down here. Oh my gosh. Okay. We'll play new 10-10. That's a nice little slow warm up there. get you going. That'll get you going. That's a nice one there. Okay, let's see. All right, we're starting to heat up here a little bit now. Good to see everybody. Let's see. Donald James, he said, it's Saturday, free form stream. That's pretty much it, buddy. That's pretty much it today, man. Let's see. Donald James knows who Andrew's, he's great, dude. He's a smart dude, man. He's done some wild stuff, too. I like watching his videos. And he kind of shows how America is pretty well falling apart mentally, but he's out there. He's out there. Terrell says he's doing good. It's a big UFC fight tonight. Nice, dude. Val said he got a buddy in Australia, and he was telling me that the Bigfoot called the Yngwie has been talked about by the Aboriginals for 10,000 years. Shakes, man. Yeah, I know. Like they got the Yeti or whatever over in the Himalayas or whatever too. Always some crazy monster. Dan Anderson, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for all that. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, Darrell. Thank you, Ju G. Stu Petty's in the house. How you doing, Stu? Good to see you there. Val said, used to watch some UFC. I never watched it, honestly. A little bit. Maybe a couple big matches, but that was about it back in the day. Big Tex in the house. How you doing, brother? He says, hope my neighbors aren't sleeping when I tune into this channel. There you go, bro. We got you cranked up. We got you cranked up. Down says, do you know any Proud Fear? Not really. No, I don't. I never really tried to learn any of it. Maybe there's a song, the Chain Breaker is like the very first song I ever heard. I kind of tried to learn that, but not too much though, man. I mostly just love listening to them. But yeah, there's one other song, When Death Comes Knocking. I kind of was learning the riff to that. I was going to actually go, they were playing in town, and I was going to go on stage and play with them. But it turned out I couldn't go at all, so it sucked. But I remember learning a bit of it. Oh, but yeah, you know me, buddy. I wish I had time to learn stuff. I need like 8 more hours in the day to get things working. Jerome, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Don says Andrew's had some controversy, but I'll do like, yeah. And I think he came away. Yeah, it was like some sort of weird assault thing. Someone trying to pin him on something. But he got out of that. It was all pretty much baseless and just someone out there trying to ruin his good name. But yeah, he went to Mexico and tried to like cross the border again. They got in big trouble for that. But he back in action, man. He does it for his fans, though. That's what's up. That's what's up. How about this one? We haven't played this in a while. This is a good warm up. Fury of the Heroes. there. That's a cool song. That's an older song there for sure. I haven't played that in a long while. Ooh. Big Tex asks, Rick, can I find you on Spotify? You can't find me personally on Spotify, but you can find my bands, old bands. Leash Law is on there, and War of Thrones is on there. I wonder if you can find that. I don't know if you can find that on here. Leash Law Spotify. Let me see. But yeah, I don't put my album on there. That was really get screwed off of that. All right, here we go. I found it. All right, check this out, everybody. So here, I'll post this in the chat. This is the Leash Law album from 2004. And then let's find if we can find War of Thrones. War of Thrones. Yeah, I found it. All right, and then here. So if you want to pop this on your Spotify, these are where you can find. These are the best things. And that's War of Thrones. So two albums right there. I should copy and paste those for later. Just have that saved. But anyway, those are the albums I was on, and they're pretty cool and free to listen to. My album, Big Tex, is here on YouTube on my page under the Releases tab. You can go there and listen to it for free if you want. Oh shoot, Derail's over at Dave and Buster's, man. That's what's up, buddy. No One Someone, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well this Saturday. Thank you, Juji. Derail said, you like that guitar behind me. I got two. Yeah, so Monday is the anniversary of the Until the Bitter End album was released. So the album was released June 9th, 2003, which is coincidentally my birthday. If you've Googled it before, you'll know. So yeah, I broke out the old Charvel. That's not the one I used to use. That's a perfect copy of the one I used for years and years. And I don't know if it plays. I think it plays okay. I might have to break it out and crank it up a little later. But that is a 1991 Charvel Predator. Those are extremely rare to find. Extremely rare. So. And I was very lucky to find this one, and I found another one. So I have three altogether. My original one I used to play back in the 2000s. I've got a kind of a maroon red one, and then I've got this black one. Thank you, Jerome. Let's see. Big Tex, you're welcome, buddy. No problem. Val says, do I see a flame top on the Jackson by the Marshall? No, that's actually... no, this is a rosewood neck. Rosewood neck. And then you got the Godin... Multi-Act Encore is the classical guitar I've got. Yeah, Charvel. Yeah, the 1991 Charvel. Super duper rare, man. Super rare. All right, let's see what we got. So I think I'm warmed up enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a fun game. And we're going to call it T-shirt song. Because now we can do stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I figured out how to pin stuff on here. So we're going to run through some tunes. So if there's a T-shirt for it, I'm going to play the song for it, and then we'll see where it goes after that. So of course we're going to pin this Until the Bitter End T-shirt, and we have the song called Until the Bitter End. So we're going to play that first off here. Glenn Kamada, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there. And no one says, are there any advantages to your playing beyond being developed how you are, Rick? Do with house culture? Yeah, I don't think so. No, it has actually probably made it even harder for me to learn and to figure it out. Honestly, yeah, I wish there was more advantages. But yeah, I've had to take every disadvantage and turn it into an advantage of some sort. But yeah, nothing spectacular, unfortunately. But like I said, most things are actually were harder for me to learn and figure out. But I did it, I worked. I had to work hard. I had to overcome. I tell everyone this, you've got to overcome whatever you got. Even normal people got to overcome a lot of stuff, and then they have to adapt to it. And guitar is all about adaptation, I think. You're not meant to play a guitar. You're really not. So you kind of have to adapt your fingers to playing guitar. You have to learn how to hold your hand a different way. You've got to contort your fingers in such a way to hit certain notes. So it gets it's not easy. It can be if you once you learn and you start getting good at it, it becomes easier. Let's say that. But starting off learning, not so many people just take to it like a duck to water essentially. But that is what it is. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Nolan. No problem, brother. Watchman for you. How's it going, man? Good to see you there. Glenn knows adapt and overcome. That is the answers. That's the answer to everything. Like I said, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be the most perfect person in the world. You still, if you're trying to do something in your life, there might be something you're going to have to figure out how to do it. And it's like I said, yeah, adapt and overcome. It's probably the motto. Adapt and overcome, no excuses. Those are the mottos. Let's kick it into overdrive. We have the Until the Bitter shirt with the song. Let's crank it down. We're going to try to. What the heck? You have to actually unmute the track before you like to play the track. It's very helpful. Let me tell you, that's a pro tip right there. Always unmute the track before you play it. Let's go. Another big pro tip for you. After you've tuned your guitar, make sure that you turn your channel back on for your electric guitar channel. 2 pro tips right in a row. All right, let's try this again with feeling. 3rd time's the charm, huh? till the bitter end. So maybe I'm not warmed up fully. That was slightly rough on my head. Not too shabby, not too shabby. But yeah, what was up with that? It feels like that wasn't even the right track. I don't think that was the right track. I don't think this whole thing is updated. Wow. Why have I not updated this? This is weird. Yeah, that was like the old track. That wasn't even the brand new version track. Man, I have not, this thing is outdated. All right, well, we'll have to fix that. We'll have to fix that. Okay, anyway, we'll get there. We get there. We get there. There you go, Juji. Watchman Free says, we'll give my brother in hospital bed a hey, James, and a quick, like, yo, all right, man. Hey, James, what's up, man? Get better soon, buddy. You got to do it. Hope you're doing better, bud. Thank you, man. Thank you, Watchman. No worries, brother. Juji knows people face all kinds of adversity, especially challenging your own mind and pushing through. Indeed, indeed. Valkyrie said, I never listened to Shred before, Rick, but his skill brought me in. There you go, man. Appreciate that. Big Tech said, this channel has such a wholesome energy that's face melting rips. I feel it, man. We try and keep it clean around here. You know, it's a family. We try and keep it a family channel. I have a horrible mouth. I swear a lot otherwise, but I keep it very clean. 2 years, I don't think I've ever said one bad word live, which is amazing. But I like to keep it clean. You never know who's watching. Could be some kids, could be someone watching, you know, so we try and keep it real. I appreciate that. Thanks, Darrell. Judy said, I love these 6 Saturday streams. You know, yeah, it's fun. Saturdays are fun. You know, it's nice and chill. I got no pressure. I can read all the comments at a good pace. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Donald says, I usually have my guitar on me trying to play along, but sometimes I just got to stop and listen to Rick perform. I feel that, man. All good, brother. I got something to show you too, Donald, before I forget. I'll show that to you in 2 seconds here. Evan Kelly in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. T-Bird said he just finished watching the newest Mr. Ballin video. Mr. Ballin's great. Yeah, we used to watch him a lot. I haven't watched him in a while. But yeah, he tells some good stories, man. He's got his own little thing going on. He's got it hooked up, man. There you go. Oh, thanks, Watch, man. I'm glad he liked it, man. Glad he liked it. Appreciate you, brother. All right, we got to show something to Donald real quick because Donald, we were in Tyler Shep's stream last night, and Donald was curious how Tyler was changing the pitch of the guitar. So I'm going to show you some. So I don't have the same Neural DSP as Tyler, but I do have a Neural DSP plugin. So check this out. So let me get my sound on here. I'll do a rhythm sound for you. This is basically the rhythm tone I use for all my tracks. All right. So check this out. So Donald, if you look, you got a transpose knob. So this you can actually just start changing your guitar. So I'll put it down 1 step. And I could change another one if I wanted to even go lower. I actually had to use this on the new song of the week. And you can transpose it up too. So say I'm always in D, you know, I'm tuned down 2 whole steps. So if I put it up a step, now I got E. I have a true E going on. So normally it would sound like this if I had it regularly with zero transpose. So it's really cool. It's a really cool feature, but I've only seen it on these Neural DSP type plugins. They're pretty cool. They're about $100 though. Sometimes you can catch them on sale and whatnot, but yeah, they're really cool. Some of them have some great tunes. That one there is the Fortin Nameless X. It's like a Meshuggah's Plexi amp that they use. They modeled it, so it's pretty cool. If you're ever interested, though, you know, check it out. Check it out. All right, we're gonna turn that off there, and there you go. I'm back. All right, so that was for Donald there. We wanted to show Donald that. Let's see. Evan says, Rick, your double screen take of you playing in 2000 is awesome. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a fun one. I came up with the idea out of nowhere. I was like, you know what? I should. I had these old videos. Maybe I should like replay, you know, do them over again. I got another one in the works, but it's kind of hard because like one of the footage cuts off, like the camera's like on me, and then it just like starts going pans over. So I'm like, great. So I have like half Germany, half Japan footage of this one song that I'm trying to do a video. T-Bird knows, man. You can tune that guitar down to gent territory. Indeed. That's why if anyone asks for Korn, I can actually tune it down enough to sound like Korn. There you go. There you go, Evan. Yeah, that's a classic right there. T-Bird says, anyone ever had an extra vehicle just sit parked 3 or 4 years and decided to start driving again and realize how much you miss it? I can't say that I ever had, man. No, I had a Firebird that was sitting for a while. Val says, Rick, could you make a shred version of the Jeffersons moving on? Cause we're moving on up to the east side, to that deluxe apartment in the sky. Oh, moving on up. That's a classic, dude. I don't know if you can make a shred version of that. You probably could. Someone could. I'm not good at remakes, man. There's a lot of dudes on YouTube that make him like do these remakes and be like, Frank Sinatra, My Way, in the style of Slipknot or something. Like, how do you even do that? I don't know how they do it. Juji, yeah, you ain't seen nothing. Well, if you ever watched that one video, Rick Renstrom's Time Machine, live stream Time Machine, that's got me at like age 17 and 19 and 20, I think, around that time. There you go, Val. Ken Kramer in the house. How you doing, brother? Don says he has one guitar tuned to B and another tuned to C. Yeah, that's the beauty of these plugins. You never have to like tune your guitar. You just detune the amp sound, and you can get that vibe going. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't even know it had it until I got the amp. You know, I wanted the plugin because I wanted a Plexi sound, or yeah, I wanted a Marshall Plexi amp essentially. So yeah, that was the one that's probably the best Marshall Plexi sounding amp out there. Don said he did a metal version of Cool in the Gang Celebrate. Celebrate good time, come on. Evan said that Iron Maiden intro is a perfect Lerner Shredder song. Yeah. Wasted Years is a beautiful song. It's one of my favorites for sure. Boog in the house. What's up, buddy? He says, hey, Rick, how do you make songs? For me, I have to, I do it a couple different ways. The last couple songs I'm writing every week, and we got a new song of the week, I write a riff first. Like, I'll just write, you know, something like a, I'm trying to think, like a riff, you know, just write any riff, like an opening riff. Right? So that's your, like, their intro riff, and then you gotta think of like, okay, let me think of a verse, like, let me just be like, and you gotta think of like some sort of pre-chorus. That's what you keep. And back then, now you've recreated your verse, chorus, and you go back to your intro. fix it. So I just usually just come up with riffs, 2 or 3 riffs, and then chain them together to start making that part of the song. And that's how I've been writing the last couple songs when I'm on guitar. When I'm on a keyboard, it's a little different. I've got a lot more freedom on the keyboard. I can add more notes and different tonalities and things like that. But yeah, it just depends. But yeah, if you're gonna write rock songs or metal songs or whatever, start with one riff and keep building on top of that riff. Val says, I've been writing songs about the passage of time. There you go, man. Warheart says, nah, I'll change the guitar. I feel you. You could do that. I find it easier this way. Because this new song is like drop C. It would be in drop C. The song of the week right now is a drop C. So and I was like, I don't have a guitar that's in drop C, but it sounded really cool. So I was like, all right, let me tune this, use the tuner thing, and it worked perfect. And that's what Tyler uses essentially. So when Tyler's changing his keys on a guitar, like when he plays one of my songs, he's got to detune his guitar or whatever. He's got to do the tuner down to 2 notches. Warheart said, knows time is an illusion of gravity. It is. And time is like relevant, or whatever. Is it irrelevant? I can't remember the word. Because you never know, man. It's like time just flies. I mean, it's already June 7th. Just last week it was Christmas, like last week. Now it's June 7th. I don't even know anymore. Why does it feel like a lot of these songs are not updated properly? Okay, this has got it the right one. All right, so on the screen we got pinned is the Shadows t-shirt. So we're going to play Shadows next. Let's do it. stepped in and out of the shadows. Yeah, that's a cool one, man. That's always a fun one. It's a nice shirt too. I like the shirt of this one. I think I got a Speeder shirt and a Voltage shirt actually. Let's see. But I want to get them all. I want to have one of everyone. We're gonna work on it though. Stephen Ernie in the house. What's up, buddy? He says, you're a very creative artist, Rick. Thank you very much, Stephen. I appreciate that, my friend. Jerome says, do you know some Leprous songs? Leprous? I've never... the only thing I know is Death, Leprosy, and I don't know any songs off of that album. But I don't know. I'm not sure, buddy. Donald James says, time and gravity are connected. They probably are, man. Everything seems connected. We're probably living in a simulation from what I understand, but I don't know. I feel like I live in a simulation some days. It's just it's the same day every day. I just do something, slightly different every day, but I wake up and got to do it all over again. Ken Kramer, thank you, buddy. Warheart, he knows what's up. Nashi Kid in the house. He says, I walked into DJX physics lessons. There you go. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you, Juji. Evan said some cool Phrygian in honor of the mountain. You know that's right. That's how we roll. Zinji in the house. How you doing there? There you go. There you go, Nashiket. Thank you very much, Crane. I appreciate that there. That's awesome, dude. Zinji says, I feel just lucky every time I enter and Rick in the middle of play. There you go. It's always good when you're like right in the middle of it. We shred it up. We shred it up. Thank you, Nashiket. First Kind One says, that was dope, the wizard status. There you go, brother. What's up, dude? Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Oh, let's see. Donald James knows who they are. Leprous is a really good band. Metal Elites will trash them, but they are a good band. Interesting. I've never heard of them. But then again, I haven't heard a lot of his stuff. I really don't listen to much anymore. People think I I just all day listen to music or something like that and keep up with the latest trends and stuff. I don't at all. I'm so far behind on what's out there. I have no idea. I hear things here and there, or something pops up on my YouTube feed, or someone tells me, go check that out, dude. I'll go, and I remember to check it out. I will. But yeah, the only thing I remember is everything I listened to when I was a kid. That's all the stuff that I remember, and that's pretty much all I listen to when I'm in my car or driving, somewhere. So whatever I listened to when I was a kid. All right, let's see. Yeah, true that, Val. That's what's up. All right, let's see. What's next on this? So we got a bunch of tunes here. How about we kick it into Storm Rider? And in case you didn't know, I did post a video Friday of the Storm Rider playthrough. It was a really, really good cut of that. And I was like, well, I should post it because a lot of people enjoy that song, so I wanted to make sure it was out there so people could play it over and over if they wanted to. All right, now we got to find Storm Rider here. Okay, Storm 2025. Got it. All right. All right, moving along. See what we got here. Man, y'all saying time and gravity are connected and relevant. It's already 9:51. I barely feel like I've played anything, but that's how time flies. What did I say? Time flies when you're having fun. Well, I hope we're all having fun because time is flying. So, but here's a Storm Rider. Let's go with that. don't know who was watching Tyler Shep last night, but Tyler, I put that video out on Friday, and he had that tune done. He pretty much, he's like in the 90 percentile of playing that song, and it was pretty great. It was pretty awesome, and it's a pleasure to watch. It's crazy, crazy. But yeah, Tyler Shep, he's got the Fire Within down. He's got Speeder pretty much going on, and now he's got Storm Rider. I'm gonna send him my old track for Storm Rider so he can start playing that in his streams. That's very cool to see. You know, of my entire life of playing that, no one in the world does play my songs except for Tyler. So that's an honor in itself right there. So if you haven't checked out Tyler, make sure you go subscribe to him. Nashi Kit says, same here, Rick, really check out new stuff. I feel that, man. I feel that. Val says, thanks, but I only want to hear your new music. True that, true that. We got all kinds of it, man. Like I said, I've been trying to write a song every week. I almost didn't have time to write the song every week, but I found the time. I got the time. Warhard said he's sick to death of all the hits and all the stuff I used to love. I know. It's hard, yeah, to listen to, like, you've heard it a million times already. It's hard to listen to it a million more times. That's why I don't get upset, but I get tired of, like, people, like, that come into my chat and be like, play Metallica. I'm like, dude, that Metallica is, like, 100 years old at this point. It's so boring. Why would if you've already heard Metallica song 50 million times in your life, why would you want to hear some random dude trying to just play his guitar play it? You know, it's like it just cracks me up. Cracks me up. And some of the requests are just like, you know, like people want Black Sabbath. They'll say, oh, play Iron Man or play Paranoid. Like, Black Sabbath got 30 albums. That's the only song you know? One song, Paranoid? Or Deep Purple, Play Smoke on the Water. Deep Purple got 30 albums. That's the only song you know? That always cracks me up. I find it funny. I'm trying to find new ways to come back at those requests. Nasha Kid say, it's cool how everyone checks out music. Absolutely, you know. I mean, that's what defines people, I think. And that's a great comment, Nasha Kid, because music defines who you are, you know. And just because you listen to something doesn't mean I'm going to listen to it, or something because I listen to something doesn't mean you're going to listen to it or whatever. We all listen to things different, and sometimes we have a common ground, and we listen to the same stuff. A lot of us here listen to Judas, love Judas Priest, we love Dio, we love Iron Maiden, and stuff like that. So, but some of us like, hey, have you heard that other band? You know, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Monkeys. Nah, I haven't heard of them. They're great, are they? Well, that's great for you, bro. That's great for you. You know what I mean? So that's how it rolls around here. Zin G, appreciate that. Thank you, Nashiket. Evan says Storm Rider needs to be released in a Rob H vocals. There you go, man. I do have a version of it with vocals on it, honestly. And it's Diego. What's his name? I can't remember his last name. He used to sing with the guys from Dio. Actually, I can't think of his name. I got the wrong. I can't think of his last name right now. I'm drawing a blank. Let's see. T-Bird says some of the older classics are good to visit sometime, even something like John Cougar. Yeah, for sure. I like listening to them old 80s tracks. You know, the stuff I listened to on MTV when I was growing up as a kid. I don't mind listening to that stuff. You know, nowadays it's like it reminds me of those great. I put a video out on Friday called I think my brain is still in the 80s. You know, because I'd rather live in the 80s at this point, you know. So I have to live it in my mind that way. I enjoy all the technology that I have, but I prefer how the times were back then, you know. Ward says he likes the B-sides. He's sick of it. It's true that. Val says Rick brings loads of originals. True. I think I've got at least 20, maybe almost 30 new songs in the last 6 months or so. We've been pumping them out. T-Bird said a lot of older stuff is nice to record. It sounds clean, raw, and filtered on. Yeah. Nowadays there's too much, you know, Pro Tools and there's so many things that you can do to make everything sound just so perfectly clean, and it's like, you know, I want a little bit of grit, you know, in the sound, you know. I want the playing to be perfect, you know, but I don't want it to be, you know, so perfect that everything's on the grid, you know, and perfectly lined up. You know, there's got to be that human feeling to it, I think. And there's not too much human feeling to anything anymore. A lot of the new stuff. Warhart knows. Maestro Rick, the composer. That'd be nice, man. Thank you, Juji. So that's clean and soulful as the album version. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jerome. Warheart says, tone is in the face. Heck yeah, man. That's how we roll it there. I love this tone, man. Zinji said, he's happy to ride the storm. There you go, brother. Evan Kelly says, sounds like a song that could be very easily fit into an album like Abigail. True that, true that. Zinji knows Tyler's amazing. Yeah, Tyler's been cranking it out, man. It's like one day he's going to work on his tunes and then he's back on, or he's going to work on his original songs and he's back live streaming again. So I think he's got the time to do it. Hey, if you got the time, go for it. Him and Brody, Abby Green, they're all like, they constantly, Ghost of Maine, they're always constantly streaming. Why not? What else? If you got the time and you go for it. I just want to see him get into a rut, you know, because they get a lot of requests like play this, play this, play this, play, and they do it. Like sometimes you're gonna have to like, you know, not do requests and start doing something. But God love them, God bless them for the two, man, for sure. Judy says, you know what? If it's not for you, just move on. Then tear into a musician. True that, true that. Donald says Tyler got the beginning of Damnation game. Yeah, he does. He's nailing that, man. It sounds like Michael. It sounds like Michael Romeo for sure, man. I told him he needs to learn that solo next. That's what I want to hear. I think what I'm going to do though for him is I'm going to make him the track. I'm going to I'll record the drums and guitars and do the track for him. And then during the guitar solo, when the keyboard solo does his stuff, I'll throw solos in there for him. I think that'd be cool. I just got to put it together. Warren says, hey, play Smoke on the Water. I know, right? I feel it. And I would, you know, if it's a legitimate request. Like some kid came in the other day, he's like, I'm from Kazakhstan, please play Paranoid. I'm like, look, buddy, all right, since you're from Kazakhstan and you probably don't get much music over there, I'll play your Paranoid for you. I'll play your Paranoid for you. Juji wants to hear some Yngwie. All right. I'll throw a quick Yngwie in the loop here. Donald says the songs people keep hearing on the radio, that's all they know. Yeah, it is true. Haley Sheldon's house, you keep doing your thing because you do it well. Thank you, Haley. I appreciate that. T-Bird says music day is like the food they feed us, over-processed with artificial flavors and colors. I know, right? It's sad to see, you know, like, I don't know what this Sabrina Carpenter or whatever. I don't even listen to her stuff, obviously. But, you know, I see this video pop up on my feed, and it's like within a day, it's got like 30 million views or something. On like 24 hours, 30 million views. And then I put my Storm Rider version up there, and I get like 100 views. So it's like, I mean, obviously, I'm not a famous musician or famous person like she is, but, and I can't even listen to her song. You know, I don't even want to hear it. Because if I click it once, I'm going to see 50,000 more Sabrina Carpenter videos, and I don't want to see that at all. Zinji said, the crime and ground here and now is your talent and your great musical creations. Thank you, Zinji. I appreciate that, man. That's what we like to see. Val says, if I could try and travel, go back to 85. True that. That'd be a fun year, man. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably be, I would have liked to have been at least graduated high school if I go back to the 80s. 85, I still had to go to school. Dang it. So now, but if I could just try and travel, go hang out, yeah, probably that. Judy says, I seriously need to hear more brutal drums and choral backgrounds. Hey, we might have something for you. We might have something. We definitely got something, though. Donald says, there's a lot of good bands out there I hear all the time, but only a few stick to me. Yeah, true that. Autodog says, Roots Below As They Lay Dying. What's that? Never heard of it, buddy. I think you came to the wrong stream, my friend. But thanks for visiting. We appreciate you. Let's see. T-Bird said, I don't listen to Sabrina Carpenter, but I want to look at her. There you go. You could do that. You could do that. Val says, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Listen or look at Taylor Swift. I feel that, man. Evan Kelly says, Bolt Thrower is a band I've got back into love. Interesting. I've heard that name before. All right, real quick, Yngwie for Juji. Let's see. What we got? I'm gonna play my favorite because I play it the best. Not that one though. Oops. I'll See the Light Tonight. It's the best one I do, I think. And my favorite. I need to relearn I'm a Viking. I was playing it for a little while and I totally forgot how to play it. But. probably one of my favorites to play. That solo there from Yngwie. It's just got it all, you know. It's got it's the essence of every Yngwie. That particular solo there. All right, let's see what we got. Man, time is just ripping through today. All right, let's get some speeder going here. And I just learned that my own mother bought a speeder t-shirt. Can you believe that? So yeah, so if Mom, you're watching, thanks for buying this shirt. We appreciate that. Judy said, I think being a metalhead is actually more inclusive than it sounds. I meet so many people who love a diverse collection. Yeah, true that. I don't know too many people who listen to metal. Out of all the people I know at my job, one dude listens to metal. That's it. Only one. And probably the only one I talk to mostly. Val says, I DJ, so I play a lot of different genres. Yeah, you would have to. You would have to. Being a DJ, you got to make people happy and get them dancing or whatever. So. Evan Kelly says, dissection for neo black metal all day long. John is my favorite. Nice, dude. Very cool. Nashiket, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Mariah Carey. Yeah, the very first album Mariah did, I like that album. That's a very good record. But then it just got progressively worse and overproduced, and it's like, But yeah, she can still sing. A lot of great singers out there. But they don't write and they don't do their own production. They just have someone else do it for them. So it's like, that's all they can do. All right, well, we got speeder next. All right, let's crank that out. Yeah, we gotta get moving. If we're gonna play any classical guitar, we gotta get moving here. Where is speeder at, man? I need to rearrange this whole file here. Oh my God, I can't find anything. Everything is everywhere. Okay, speeder. All right, everyone knows this tune. Everyone knows what to do. Because speeder gets bumpy. Let's do it. And we got the shirt popped up on the screen. Once again, thanks, Mom, for buying the shirt. Appreciate that. Let's go. right, there we go. Man, let's see. All right, Juji said she wants some crazy drumming, so we'll take the speeder shirt off, and we're gonna do Chaotic Calm next. Because Juji needs some crazy heavy metal drums, so we'll do that. All right, let's see. All right, lots of comments. We're trying to rip through them here for you. Let's see. There you go, Nasha Ket, true that, Val. Let's see. There you go, Val. Yay, Mom. Draco's knife. I sure don't, buddy. We don't do requests here, man. But thanks for hanging out with us. There you go, Juji. Don says, I wanted to suggest Rick add another stream, but when I thought about it again, the computer probably wouldn't dig it. Yeah, I think, yeah, I would never, you know, I think a lot of people here, when I say go check out, you know, like Tyler or Brody or any one of my friends, I think you would enjoy that. But yeah, you gotta read the room sometimes, man, for sure. And I don't like, you know, promoting anything out there, man. Just if you build it, they will come. That's how I feel a lot of times. We keep trying to build. There you go, Val. Nasha Kid said, not just speed, but feel. Right on. T-Bird, thank you. Judy says, so glad it makes you happy to play for us because we enjoy it. Oh, that's what makes me happy. That's what keeps me going for sure. You know, when people are happy and enjoying it and being entertained, that's my job is done, and it makes me even have more fun doing it for sure. Evan says something about Draco Spyderco or Cold Steel. I never heard of that. What's that? Nesha Cat says Rick should be suggested everywhere. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Sometimes YouTube helps me. Sometimes they don't, man. YouTube is very interesting, and they reward consistency. So like I took a week off because I had to, and then now they're like punishing. This last week was kind of a punishing week, you know. So hopefully we get things back in order again. Val says play this while getting shopping. Then you're gonna have them done. Yeah, you'd be flying around the grocery store with that song going. Judy said I blasted songs around town and put a sticker on my car. There you go. Draco says something about Cold Steel is better in my opinion, but Spyderco is more foldable. Oh, those are knives? I don't even know. I have a Colorado River trading knife, a CRT knife. I've had it for years. It's great. Works like a charm. Nasha Cat says DJX got me here, and I'm so grateful. That's awesome. We appreciate that. Nasha Cat like that squeal there. Let's see. Thanks, Nasha Cat. I appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna move it along here. Chaotic Calm. This one will get you going. I'm definitely warmed up for this, so let's get it. Chaotic Calm. The shirt's up on the pin screen. This one's a cool one. I really enjoy playing this one. chaotic and calm all in one. Gee whiz, that's crazy. That's a fun song though. That's an old song too, but yeah, cool. Really shredding that one out for sure. All right, let's see. Let's find the next tune here. What I'll do. I don't know. I don't think I ever. Make sure this is the right tune, man. That ain't the tone. All right, we gotta find this song. I never titled Voltage. Maybe it's this one. Okay, there it is. All right, get that ready. We'll do Voltage next. Let's see. Appreciate all the comments. Hope y'all having fun tonight. Saturday's always fun. All right, let's see. Don said, I tried to suggest Tony McAlpine at that stream. Nobody liked it. Yikes. Tony's a legend, man. So, yeah, if they didn't like it, yeah, that's weird. Tony's amazing. I would have liked it, but I love Tony McAlpine. I've been listening to Tony McAlpine since before anyone even knew who Tony McAlpine was, honestly. I think I went a little too high there. Val says, I have so many knives. I used to collect them a lot, but nah, I got one and it works out. Brittany Angel, hello, good to see you. Thank you so much. Evan says, sorry, knife talk, Rick, at you. Yeah, I got one and it works like a charm. It's still sharp as a razor, man. It'll cut through anything. Nasha Kid said, my body was ready. There you go. Juji was like, oh yeah, shred me. There you go. There you go, Donald. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, buddy. Nasha Kid, thank you. Don says, Rick's music is stuck in my head. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Juji, thank you. Nasha Kid says, picking my jaw off the floor counts as exercise, right? Pretty much, yeah. Gotta work it. Don says, where's my face at? It's somewhere. Check the floor. You might find it. Thank you, Nasha Kid. Yeah, that's a cool one there. Yeah, I do. I think I found the very original demo that we did, that me and my friend Chris did. It's pretty brutal sounding. He's got that black metal voice, so he was like, yeah. I was like, whoa. They were fun to do. All right, let's see. All right, we got the Voltage shirt pinned up on the channel now. Let's get down. Yeah, here you go. Juji got it right. Voltage. All right, let's crank this one up, and then I don't know if we got what we got after that. We might do the song of the week after that. I think I got enough tunes here. I don't know if I want to do the Fire Within. I play that all the time, usually. Requiem for the Lost, though. All right, we'll leave it up to everyone. How can I do a poll? Where do I do a poll at? I will start a poll. I don't want that kind. I don't want yes or no. How do you create a poll? Like, I don't like it. Add an option. Huh. Oh, I can change this. Okay. Next song. I got it. Next song. We're going to do this poll. We only have so many people in here, but hey. I can't even type. I typed it mixed. All right. Next song. Throne. What did I type? Throne. For Throne of Obsidian. Or Requiem. For Requiem of the Lost. You choose. Oh, it won't let me do it now. Oh, oops. Let me take that away. No option. All right, there we go. We'll put that up in the chat. The next song, either Throne of Obsidian or Requiem for the Lost. After this Voltage, we'll play. Y'all let me know what you want, and we'll do that one. Then we'll play the song of the week, and then we'll try and do a couple classical jams. We'll plug in the old acoustic. All right, let's see. This is Voltage. You know how this one goes. shocking. That was a shocking performance on that one. Thanks for hanging out, listening to that. What we got here? Looks like Throne of Obsidian is the winner at this point. So, all right. We shall do the Throne of Obsidian next. Let's see. Judy said, this is the shiz I came for. There you go. There you go, Brittany Angel. Appreciate that. Donald James talking about Game of Thrones. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate that. All right, we'll take that off, and we'll put the Throne of Obsidian shirt on next. And then we'll play the song a week after that. All right, cool. Let's keep them rocking here. Time is running short tonight. I am officially on vacation now, by the way. So, we'll be on tomorrow night at 9 as usual. Probably kind of do what we did this night. Maybe we'll move some songs around, whatever I like. But Monday is my birthday. I will be streaming a little early on Monday, about 8 o'clock Eastern on Monday. And it's, like I said, it's also the 22nd anniversary of my solo album being released. So I will probably play virtually every song off that album on Monday night between 8 and about 10. And then I'll begrudgingly celebrate my birthday because I don't really celebrate it, but we'll lay it out there, and have some fun either way. I'll sing happy birthday to myself. How about that? But it's all good. But appreciate y'all hanging out. But I want to let you know that I will probably put that on the schedule later tonight here. And I got to make a thumbnail for it too. I forgot to do that. But we'll get it up there for sure. All right, without further ado, it's time for Throne of Obsidian. Let's do this. The shirt is up on the pinned comment there. So check that out. And let's see what we got. Good old Throne of Obsidian. Let's do it. Appreciate that, everybody. Thanks for voting on that one. That was a cool one to play. Very fun to play. Very classical, too. All right, let's see. Let me cue up this next one. Oh, man. I have no idea what I'm going to play here. So this ought to be very wild. We'll get rid of that there. End poll, sorry. Forgot to end the poll. Let's see. Thank you, Nashi Kid. Appreciate that on Voltage. Thank you, Juji. We were looking forward to it. Every 6 months I take a vacation, a nice week. So that's how we go. And I need it. I have been tired. I'm ready to sleep. Thank you, Nashi Kid. Appreciate that. T-Bird said he went out to make coffee in his Keurig. He ran out of water. He poured more in there. Now it won't pump through water. Oh, man. That's not good. That's not good. Juji knows. It's a celebration of life. I feel that. I feel that. Nashi Kid, thank you there, buddy. All right, we got some. We're trying to get some help for T-Bird. Brittany says might need clean and descaled. You never know. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink them. I got no machines for making coffee, so I have no idea. That I could not troubleshoot for you, my friend. I'm sorry, Nash Kid said this has to be the best music for coffee machine support. True that. We'll beat it into submission somehow. I wish I knew more. Cody Nelson, what's up, brother? Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well tonight. Nashi Ket knows this gotta be as clean as Rick's picking for sure. Gotta keep them Keurigs clean. I think we had a coffee machine when I was a little kid. And it was like just a regular old coffee pot and a Mr. Coffee, I think was what it was. But again, I never drank no coffee. There you go, Nashi Ket. Thank you. Juji wants to hear a little docking. I feel that. See what we got. Donald James says, why need coffee when we have voltage? I know. I don't even have voltage. I'm drinking the Baja Cabo. This is on the weekends. I drink the special Mountain Dews on the weekends, so I can make them last. You know, voltage you can get all day. So, gotta drink the nice and the rare Mountain Dews on the weekend. Oh shoot, Cletus and Clovis in the house. Good to see you guys, man. Hope you're doing well tonight. You're just in time for the song of the week. Well, actually, you're just in time for some docking. We'll play a quick docking. Let me think what I got here. I'll probably just play In My Dreams, Juji, because that's probably the best one I do out of all of them so far. I don't even have a... Wait, is this the newest In My Dreams? This might be the old In My Dreams. Hold on, let me delete this. Let me pump in that newest version. Yeah, I hope that was right. I don't know. Import song. So I used to have a crummy version of In My Dreams. I guess this is the good version. Okay, that's the new version. All right. Real quick for GG, classic In My Dreams. This one got I put a short video of this the other day. I got some good views, man. You gotta love George Lynch, man. He's crazy with it. I listened to it in the car the other day as it popped up. Like, it's such a great song. I mean, I started Dokken wrote some of the greatest tunes. So good, so good. All right, there's that. Blowing out backseat. Thanks for that super chat. You said, love to hear the nastiest metal intro with the sludgy rhythm. You might have been listening to what I was recording earlier, but it's pretty close to that. Pretty close to that. Let's see. LVD said Queen. I don't know any Queen. I mean, probably this is about the only Queen I could think of. Like, I don't know too much, buddy. I never really got into Queen like that. But there you go, T-Bird. I'll be waiting when heaven comes down. There you go, LV. There you go, Juji. Evan's like, whoa, Cleats and Close. A Kiss of Death. That's a good one, too, yeah. That's a good one. Fallen angel with the devil's touch. Thank you, Juji. She said, sounds as good as the day he wrote I Wish. Thank you, that. I like it. Gloria in the house. How you doing, Gloria? You're welcome, LV. Nashi Cat, thank you, buddy. Donald James, yeah, Stone Cold Crazy. That's a cool tune, man. Metallica did a real nice cover of that one, too. That's a pretty ripping cover. LV says, you and Rob Roxford was a great one. Yeah, that's a great one. I have that track in here if you want to hear it, LV. I'll throw that one down real quick. Let's see. Now she goes, I love this tone so much. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Amplitude. You got to get yourself Amplitude, man. I don't know if there's a sale on it right now or not. I got a link to my, if you want, Nashika, go to my Sweetwater store. Or my page on Sweetwater. I don't have a store on Sweetwater. But check this out. Go to this page if you can, Nashika, and look up Amplitude 5. I don't know if there's a deal on it right now or not. Let me see. Amplitude 5. Oh, no deal on Amplitude 5 right now. That's expensive. Yeah, that's pricey right now. Wait for the sale. Let's see. Cleves and Clovis dropping that super chat. Thanks, guys. He said Clovis just got the Deep Purple's Perfect Strangers on vinyl. Nice, dude. And he said, love that Kiss of Death, Rick. Appreciate that, guys. I played that a bunch when I was a kid, man. I actually, I must have been about 17 or so. 17 or maybe probably 17. And me and my drummer we had to go audition for a band. They wanted to play that song. I was like, all right, I love me some Docking. I knew all that Docking back then. Thanks. Thank you, Brittany. There you go, LV. T-Bird says, what's the other electric guitar in the background besides the acoustic? That's a Charvel Predator from 1991. I had to bust that one out there, man. Nashika says, digital's the future. Looks like I know, right? I don't mind it. I guess when I'm rich and famous, I buy a nice turntable and a nice stereo system or something just to have and play some old vinyl on it or whatever. Val Kimber knows Balky from Perfect Strangers. Yeah, that was a great show. I used to watch that show as a kid like crazy. Juji said the video's looking crisp. Yeah, this is my real good camera here. This is my 4K crazy camera. Donald James says, how about that old band called Sweet Ballroom? Yeah, it's a ballroom blitz. Someone else did that. Didn't Crocus do a cover of that? I think so, if I remember correctly. All right, let's see. Let's get this going because I don't even know what I'm gonna play here. I literally had two. I got this track put in the in my file here within like about 2 minutes of 9 o'clock, and I got no time to. I had no time to play anything over it. So we're going into the unknown realms here. Honestly, there's a key change. I don't know what it is. I think it's. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. We might have to start this one over when I get to this key change part because I can't remember what I did. But let's give it a shot. Again, this is a brand new song of the week. I have a title for it. It's called Intimidator because I watched this Dale Earnhardt show on Amazon. I've been a Dale Earnhardt fan since I was a little kid. It's totally metal, by the way, metal classical. But I kind of got the vibe when I was watching it, and like how he intimidated everybody. So this is a very mean sounding riff song. So this one's called Intimidator. Otherwise 060725 written today. Let's try it out. wasn't so bad. Wasn't as bad as I expected, honestly. I caught the changes at the right times. That's a crazy tune. I like that one. I honestly like that jam right there. That's cool stuff right there. Shoot. I think that's a new banger for sure. I like it. I like it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. We'll see. We'll see. That's right, Val. Yeah, that wasn't what Tia Carrera's band thing, that one. That's funny. Cletus and Clovis knows. Okay, it was Crocus. Thank you guys for making me correct, because I couldn't remember. Brittany Angel, there you go. Bradley James, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Evan said he taking his boy fishing back in 30 minutes. There you go, brother. I feel that. Cletus and Clovis said Sweet had a great tune called "Love Is Like Oxygen." I've never heard that one. Nashy Cat's feeling it. He said, "Let's get mean." Bradley James knows Intimidator. And there you go, Don. He said, "Damn, that's a low tune." Yeah, that was Drop C, and that's from that Neural DSP plugin I have, and I just tuned it down 2 notches, and there you have it, man. Lude LV said he heard a cover of "Love Is Like Oxygen" by Jeff Scott Soto and Christian Lilligren from Narnia. Oh, yeah, great, man. He said, I think the band was called Audio Vision. Interesting. I never heard of that. There you go, Juji. Cletus and Clovis is going to check out the Audio Vision. Yeah, I'd like to hear that. I've known Christian for a long time. Well, I know all the guys from Narnia, honestly. I never met Jeff. Jeff's amazing, though. LV says, by searching for metal with Christian lyrics, how I found Narnia and Rob Rock, and then there I heard Rick. There you go. Exactly. That's one way to find it. Nashy Cat's like, so in the zone. Absolutely, buddy. LV, thank you there. Thank you, Val. Thanks, Nashy Cat. LV says, if you're into symphonic metal, then Christian Revel Lilligren had another band called Divine Life you recognize. Very nice, man. Yeah, Christian does a lot of stuff, man. He's a great singer, too. And CJ is an amazing guitar player. Don says, I'm going to have to get that plug-in because I hate when songs are in different tunes. I know. It just makes life easier, man. It really does. And it's like, yeah, I'll crank it up again, man, just to let you hear it. Because I have the same tone for my rhythm. My rhythm track's always the same tone. Yeah, let me see. I'll tune it down to 2. I think that's what I did. Did I do 2? That's it, man. That's all. I just turn the little knob. But yeah, if you want, it's a Neural DSP Fortin Nameless X is what I use, Donald, and it's the heaviest I think it's the heaviest Marshall they have, to be honest. So if you like the heavy Marshall tone, it's basically they took Meshuggah's the band Meshuggah's Plexi amp and turned it into a plug-in. Let me see if I can I'll see if I can find the link for you, Donald. Fortin Nameless X. I'll get you a link to that, Donald. It's like 99 euros, so it's like $110 or something. They usually have sales and stuff, but yeah, If you can find it on sale, it's the best. They usually have like 50, 30% off, 50% off, something like that. But if anyone else is interested in the Neural DSP Fortin Nameless X amp that I use, there it is. Let's see. Downside, I'm gonna have to get that plug-in because yeah, for sure. He said, I'm sold. Gotta get it. There you go. There you go. Juji got the popcorn now. There you go. Well, all right, I think we're good, man. It was 11 o'clock. I wanted to break out the classical, but I think we're running out of time tonight. Usually a good 2 hour. I'll tell you what, though. Someone mentioned Forever. We'll play the Forever solo real quick because that's always fun to play. Forever. I played that solo like a gazillion times back in the 2000s. It was like pretty much one of the last songs we played on the set. It was always I always brought the house down, that's for sure. That's a great one there. T-Bird said, I'd just be happy with the Tascam 4-track. There you go, man. I used to have one of those when I was a kid, man. That's where I cut my teeth, was on a Tascam 4-track. Man, I probably had to get 3 of those. I broke like the first 2. I used them so much that they would break down or something would happen. I had to get another one and to get another one. And man, but I think I had 3. And then I got what was it? It was like a Fostex 8-track at some point. That thing was pretty sweet. Thanks, Cletus and Close. Appreciate you. Val said, I was away from my PC and thought Rick was singing. Nah, that was Rob Rock singing. I can't sing. I can carry a tune barely. That's about it. Now far right. Nope. In my car, I can sing really well, honestly. Like I can hit some crazy high notes in my car, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't hit them. When I know there's people around, I can't hit them. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna cut it off. We usually do 2 hours for these streams, so we'll leave it at that. We got a nice bunch of footage here. I sure do appreciate having everyone hang out with me tonight. Now she gets the analog stuff, just feels so cool. Yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point in my life, I'm not gonna do tapes. I'll do everything digital. You know, it's so much easier. It'd be nice, you know. I think the Leash Law album and my album were the last 2 albums I did that were on analog tape, like 24-inch or whatever 2-inch reels and stuff. That's pretty nice. But yeah, the last album I did with War of Thrones, that was all Pro Tools. And this album I've got almost completed with Holmes and Slice, that's all Pro Tools. So it's all pretty much going Pro Tools from here on out for me. Unless, I'm like rich and famous and can go into a studio that has analog tape, which would be nice. You get that classic sound. You're welcome, Nasty Cat. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. But yeah, I'm hungry. I got to go eat something and go chill out. We're playing this game called Police Simulator, and we're like having fun with that. It's good stuff. We're like me and Stardust are 2 cops in this fake city, and we're pulling everyone over and doing traffic stops and car accidents, drug dealers. We got them. We got you. Don't come to our town. We get you. Donald says, so does vinyl. Vinyl has its own unique. It does, yeah. Yeah, when you hear a vinyl record, it's something different. You hear the pops and the cracks, but it sounds so nice. It's got that warmth to it. Digital stuff doesn't have that warmth. And even they got all these plugins that, oh, it's going to add the analog warmth to it. It's not the same. Just not the same. But 'tis what it is. Yeah, Stardust got it. Time for some police life. Val says, which one is the good cop and which one is the bad? I'm probably the bad cop. I don't play, man. You don't come to my town and screw off, man. I'll get you. You're going down. You come to my town. That's for sure. But just a quick reminder, I will be back tomorrow night at 9. We'll do the vertical stream, and then for my birthday and the Until the Bitter End anniversary will be on Monday night at 8. And I will schedule that, so if you do have your notifications on, you'll know, you'll remember. Let's see. Yeah, it's not so bad. I'm a good driver, but it's a video game, so I take some liberties driving, and I have crashed some cars. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I have to drive fast to get to our locations. So, and people are crazy. I crashed into somebody, and they were drunk, and I took them to jail because they was drunk, and they crashed. But I didn't get charged. I didn't get in trouble because they were drunk. So. Don't be drunk in my town. Donald James does role playing for sure. There you go, Juji. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we got a lot of nice t-shirts out there. So if you're ever interested in a cool t-shirt, helps the channel out 100%, honestly. So we appreciate that. Don said, ever drove in a house before? Luckily, it's in the city, so there's no houses there. And I think you just smash your car into bits if you drive in anything, essentially. I mean, I could literally hit like a pole, and then the old car is smoking and stuff. Don says, I have, but I wasn't the driver. The only thing I ever known of something that drove into something was this music store in, I think it was Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Someone drove their car like right through the window of this music store. And they had this monster sale, and I bought so much. I probably bought like $5,000 worth of equipment from them because it was all on sale. I walked away with probably like 10 guitars and amps and cabinets. It was ridiculous. T-Bird said he picked up Saints Row for free from Epic. Yeah, that's a crazy game, dude. Saints Rows are hilarious, man. The new one was okay. We played it through the new one, but yeah, it didn't have the same amazingness as the old ones for sure. That's a classic though. Wow. Well, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday night and a great rest of your weekend. If we see you tomorrow at 9, we'll see you. If not, hope you have a great week, and we'll be back on Monday. Won't be on Tuesday, so that's kind of what we're doing Monday, so we can get that going. All right. There you go, Anti. He knows what's up. Well, I appreciate everyone hanging out once again. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I want you to stay safe out there, be good to each other, and take care of each other, because that's all we have in this life. So everyone have a good one, and we shall see you probably tomorrow night. All right, take it easy, everybody. We'll see you then.